Today, we're going to talk about a mineral you've definitely seen around, but maybe haven't given a ton of thought to: zinc. Yep, it's in everything from sunscreen to diaper rash cream, but its most amazing role might just be in one of the body's most basic but critical processes: healing itself.
I mean, think about it. You've walked past a tube of zinc oxide cream in the pharmacy a million times. It's just there, a staple in the first aid aisle. But if you ever really stopped to wonder what that white paste is actually doing, how does this one simple mineral play such a huge part in fixing our body's most important shield, our skin?
Well, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to take a journey, starting from that familiar cream on the shelf and zoom all the way in, down to the incredible molecular machinery that makes zinc a true unsung hero of healing.
Okay, first things first. Before we see what zinc does, let's talk about where it hangs out in the body. Because while it's needed everywhere, it has a special, shall we say, fondness for our skin.
This chart really puts it into perspective. You can see most of our zinc, and we have about 2 to 3 grams of it total, is stored in our muscles and bones. But look at that, a full 6% is concentrated right in our skin. Now that might not sound like a huge number, but for an organ that's our first line of defense against the entire world, that's a very important stockpile.
And if you zoom in even closer, the numbers get even more impressive. Right here in the epidermis, that's the skin's outermost layer, you find 50 to 70 micrograms of zinc per gram of tissue. That's a ton. It's like the body strategically places its best repair mineral right at the front lines, ready to go the second an injury happens.
So let's zoom into that next level. If you think of healing a wound as this massive, chaotic construction project, then zinc is like the one tool that every single worker on the site needs to do their job right.
So, let's meet the crew. You've got your keratinocytes. They're the pavers, the ones laying down the brand new skin surface. Then you have the fibroblasts. They're kind of like the architects, building that crucial collagen scaffolding that gives the new tissue strength. And of course, the macrophages. They're the cleanup crew, clearing out all the debris and fighting off infection. Zinc is absolutely vital for all of them. It literally fuels their ability to multiply, to move to the wound, and to get their jobs done.
And this isn't just a nice analogy. As Dr. Kevin Callan points out here, without enough zinc, that collagen foundation just doesn't get built right. It's like trying to build a house with weak concrete. The whole structure is at risk of falling apart.
All right, now it's time to go to our deepest level of magnification. We know who on the construction crew needs zinc, but let's look at how it actually works. What is zinc doing on a molecular level that makes it so gosh darn important? The whole answer really boils down to this one word: cofactor. So what on earth is a cofactor? Well, the best way to think about it is like a key for an engine. You could have this big, powerful engine. That's our enzyme. But it's not going anywhere, it's not doing anything until you put the key in and turn it. Zinc is that key.
And here's the wild part. It's not just one key for one engine. Zinc is like a master key that starts up over 300 different enzymes in our bodies. And these enzymes are the ones that power the absolute bedrock processes of healing, making new DNA, telling cells when to divide and multiply, and building all the proteins needed for repair.
A fantastic example of this are these enzymes called matrix metalloproteinases, or just MMPs. Think of these guys as the demolition and remodeling team for the wound. They are 100% dependent on zinc. They come in, clear out all the old, damaged scaffolding between the cells, and then help reshape and organize the new tissue so it's strong and functional. No zinc, no demolition, no remodeling. But hang on a second, there's a catch. All this incredible molecular work, all this engine starting, it happens inside the cell. So that raises a pretty important question. How does the zinc even get in there?
This is where the cell's bouncers come in. It's this beautiful, perfectly balanced system. You have 2 families of protein transporters: the zips, which act like a door, letting zinc into the main part of the cell. And then you have the ZNTs, which act like an exit, moving zinc out. They work in perfect harmony, like a cellular yin and yang, to make sure the cell always has the exact right amount of zinc it needs. It's incredible.
So this molecular dance is fascinating, right? But it also brings up a really big practical question. If our cells are already so good at managing zinc, what does that mean for us when we actually get hurt? Let's zoom back out from the microscopic world of the lab and into the real world of the clinic.
This is the million-dollar question, isn't it? We know zinc is essential for healing, but does giving someone more zinc actually make them heal better or faster, especially when it comes to really stubborn wounds?
Well, the data is in, and the answer is a pretty resounding yes. A huge meta-analysis found that patients with chronic ulcers who were treated with zinc were 1.41 times more likely to heal.
That's not just a random chance. It's a real, measurable clinical impact.
Okay, so that leads us to the next very logical question for any doctor or patient. What's the best way to get that zinc where it needs to go? Do you swallow a pill, or do you put it right on the skin? And when you compare them side by side, you see a really clear strategic advantage for putting zinc right on the wound. See, oral zinc is great if you have a body-wide deficiency you need to correct, but topical zinc oxide, it acts like a dedicated supply depot right at the construction site. It gives this slow, steady release of zinc for up to 48 hours, directly boosting the local repair crew without the whole peak and crash you get from a pill.
And this right here is the key takeaway. Because it acts locally, putting zinc on a wound gives you this huge advantage. It's not just fixing a problem, it's actively stimulating the healing process right where it's happening. And what that means is, it can help almost any wound heal better even in people who aren't actually deficient in zinc to begin with. So, let's just boil it all down one last time. We learned that zinc is strategically stockpiled in our skin. We learned that it's the spark plug that ignites hundreds of enzymes that are critical for repair. We saw how its levels are carefully managed by those cellular gatekeepers. And finally, we saw that applying it topically delivers a powerful, sustained benefit right where you need it most.
You know, it really makes you think. If a simple, everyday mineral can orchestrate a biological process this complex and this powerful, what other incredible secrets are our bodies hiding from us, right there in plain sight? Thanks for watching.